Thanks for coming back. This is part 3 of Pixlr, and I think this will be the last part. But before I forget, let me say that my name is Sheila Potter, Sheila_Potter at kprdsb.ca. I would happily answer any questions you might have about this. We could have a chat if you have anything you'd like to ask about projects that you might like to use it for your classroom. I was saying that color is a really interesting thing for students to learn about. And you'll notice that when I play with saturation, that the colors become more, what's another word for saturation? More vigorous, brighter. As I raise the saturation, they become richer. And as I lower it, they become paler and more washed out. And that's because what saturation is, as I said, is basically the color under full sun. So as you up the saturation, it gets much, much brighter, which is fun to play with. So let's apply that. There are lots of other things you can do with images that you want to add to your poster. I'm going to move it up here just so you can see better. Let's try filters. There's all kinds of different filters in here. You know what? I think I'm going to leave them for now. But other than drop shadow, which is a really awesome one for getting images to kind of pop, you can add a little bit more blur. But please come back and play with the other filters because they're really fun. Offset. Now, interestingly, your eye expects things that are coming toward you to be offset in such a way that the shadow is to the right and down. In other words, this now looks like it is, the ladybug picture now looks like it is slightly raised off the page because of the drop shadow being offset in just a certain way. To make it look like it's coming further and further off the page, you can change the offset of Y. So that, as you may have noticed, looks like it's coming off the page further and further and then sinking back down to the page again as you change Y. You can see how there's some really cool teachable stuff in here. And then as something is closer to the background, the blur of the shadow will be less. I like more of a blur personally. There we go. Let's apply that. So now you can see wherever you choose to place that on your page, it kind of pops a little bit because it's got that nice drop shadow on it. What else can I show you in here? There's so much. Let's, for no reason other than that it's cool, let's use the Band-Aid tool. Let's use this. Let's use the clone tool. And there's that pop-up ad again. I'll just close that. So if you choose the clone tool, this is a really nice one for getting rid of anything that you might not want on your image. So let's imagine that we wanted to get rid of something from the background of this grasshopper image. I'm going to go over here again to the list of layers. I'm going to click the layer that has the grasshopper in it. I'm still on my clone tool. There are two options here. One is source and one is paint. When I click the source, then as I move my cursor away, you'll see that it changes to paint. It's going to paint whatever is in the source wherever else on the page. Now you can imagine that if you are trying to clone out something that is inappropriate or that just doesn't have any bearing on what you're trying to show your students, then the clone tool can be really useful. It can be helpful for getting rid of any kind of writing on the screen that you might not want. But once again, you click the source, click some part of the image. There's the kid hand, and you can start painting the hand up here on a different part of the image. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, Sheila_Potter at kprdsb.ca. And I've only shown you just the barest minimum in terms of what this software can do. So please explore and let me know if you have anything that I can help you do. Take care.